So I'm like a closet stand-up comedian.
Okay.
I have like a 5.5 minute routine that I've worked on for the last 10 minutes. I'm sorry, not 10 minutes. 10, no,
I see what you did there. Welcome to another episode of Chewing the Fat. I am your host, Big Rob. Thank you so much for tuning in. I certainly do appreciate that. Thank you for all the likes, the ratings and the reviews on Apple Podcasts as well. I really appreciate that. It means a lot when I get those to come into my inbox, and also all the coffees. I appreciate that too. That helps this podcast to keep going and helps me to keep going too. I'm excited about my guest for today. He is a longtime friend that I met in retail, and I lovingly call him the Tickle Monster. And I don't even remember how that started, but it is Berry Harmon. Welcome to the show.
All right. Hey, thank you so much, Rob. Great to be here. Yeah, I have no idea how what was the genesis of the Tickle Monster, but
I'm not sure.
It has lived on.
It has. It's like every once in a while I get a text and it's like, "What's up, Tickle Monster?" And or I'll send you one. It's like, "What's up, Tickle Monster?"
Mm-hmm. But I'm sure it was something that was needed at the time.
Probably.
Whatever. Yeah.
Probably. We're both fairly empathetic people. So, that was one of the great pleasures that I had working with you you kind of had that sixth sense about, how people are doing when they need that little boost, that little lift. So that's right. I feel like that's probably where that came from at some point.
Yeah.
So Berry, what is going on with you right now? It's probably been 3 years since we worked together.
Right. Yeah. So a lot has happened over, the 3, 4, 5 years, however long it's been. I've transitioned out of retail, went into sort of the more corporate side of things. And most recently, I made a transition to pursue a different career. I did take some time off. I know you and we talked about, over the last couple of months about just taking care of self.
Yeah.
And then, your podcast really jumped out to me because, I knew that I was, dealing with some things, but also I knew that the world, my immediate world here in this area, but also just, that other people are going through something, and, what a time to really bring that out. And, I've been really sort of rediscovering who I am as a person, as a husband, as a father, as a friend. So, but it's been a great ride because, I know that my support system is strong. Have people who believe in me. And I think that's been the most important thing as I've sort of made a transition or a career change, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's great. Yeah. It's always good to feel like you are supported, especially because those career changes and transitions, those can be so scary because, a lot of times you have to make those decisions where it's like, all right, I'm not either not happy, not satisfied where I am in my career, or again, just not happy with how the work-life balance or whatever is working out for me. So I need to do better for myself, for my family. And sometimes you just have to make that leap and, cross your fingers and pray that something solid is going to land underneath your feet. So having an actual support system in your family and things like that, and make that so much easier that, like, hey, we're going to jump with you. We're here with you. It's like, if we win, we all win. If we fail, we all fail, but at least we're together, so that's great.
Yeah. And then with that, you have to also recognize, like, not everyone is going to quite understand what's going on and why you're doing this, whether it be immediate family, friends, whoever. But I think the important thing is, like, whoever that person is, if you are making that leap, know that even though people may not understand, what's going on, give them that time and that space to understand it as well, because only you can truly understand what's going on inside. And I think for me, recognizing that, because you could easily jump into something. And then the moment someone, you know, doesn't understand or may not be completely on board, you can second guess yourself. You can lose, that belief that you have, and what you could do. And you touched on something just a moment ago about, like cross your fingers, faith, whatever your belief system is. If you can really hold on to that, it can really push you through it. But just recognizing and understanding, like, not everyone, albeit they may believe in you and they may believe that you're going to come out on the other side, but during that process,
right, they
may not get it, and that's okay. That is okay.
Yeah, that's one of those, I don't want to call it a roadblock, but maybe a stumbling block sometimes. It does. It causes you to reevaluate. And a lot of times that either does cause you to turn around, or it causes you to fix your eyes even more steadfast forward into stepping over that. It's like, I understand you question this, but this is what feels right. This is what I need to do. So I'm gonna push on through. So, right. And I hope you will understand that this is what's got to happen.
Right? Yeah. Exactly.
Now, Barry, you talked about being a family man. How many kids you got?
3, yes. So 3 beautiful daughters. So I'm a hashtag girl dad. That was the big hashtag of last year. Everything that went down, and man, it's so weird. Like, this was a year and a half ago with Kobe and everything, and
right.
And it's really stuck with me. Like, it's a privilege to be a father. So like, and then I have 3, beautiful girls who think I'm a superhero, think that I'm the strongest man in the world. And that's encouraging. Sometimes you need that boost, you need that lift. And, that means a lot,
Well, I know we were supposed to actually record this yesterday. And because of all the weather and stuff, is just, I didn't want to have you come out here and stuff. And you're like, all right, well, I get to go, have tea with the kids, and it's like you get to go be a part of that magic that they're creating. That's one of the things, as myself as a father, especially with my kids being, they're adults now. There's no two ways about that. They are adult men now. But there are times that I look back at that because, as we talk about those changes and those things you feel like you need to do, where I, to provide for, there were times I was working 3, 4, 5 jobs at a time. It felt like I would go from just job to job to job. I might get by the house, take a nap. And there are things like that I regret missing, I don't think I missed a whole lot of those kind of quote major life events, but there are those little life events. Those are the things that set you on fire, and those are the things that just really, make it all worthwhile. So I think it's great that you were able to have that time with the girls because something else didn't work out.
Yeah. I mean, it's important because, tomorrow isn't promised. And, I think that the moments that you can, share with them, and it doesn't always have to be like serious. I know like you want to provide for your kids and give them, the words of wisdom and, hey, this is how you're supposed to live life. And, you see those, movies and things where it's this most profound statement and this aha moment, but sometimes it's okay to just like jam out to some reggae and dance to some Bob Marley or, Maxi Priest or Shabba Ranks with the girls and teach them the things that you did as a kid and dance and just have fun. Like, cause they will remember that, that's what they will remember. They won't remember when you gave them that big speech or, maybe when you drove them to soccer practice or to ballet, it's those moments that are important. So definitely.
Yeah. Those little, microcosms of joy where you, like say you share a laugh or you laugh till you can't breathe, you know what I mean? Because you're just having such a good time. And those are the things, like you said, I think that stick in their memory. And what better way to be remembered as a father than that is someone that brought joy to your children's lives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Aside from having your beautiful girls, you got your beautiful wife.
Yes.
How is she doing?
She's doing great. So we have been married 12 and a half years. It's been a magical 12 and a half years. Like I couldn't probably be on this earth without her, because, and I'm not saying that to be cheesy and whatever, but I really truly mean that. When we got married, the year we got married, that's the same. So like literally like 3 or 4 months later, I had to have open heart surgery. And like, so our first year of marriage was already like, crazy, dealing with like a health scare, like, but man, she is like literally my rock. She makes me smile. She makes me want to get up, in the morning on some days when I don't want to get up. And she also keeps me honest. She'll be the one we talk about, you and I, we talked about like feedback and like just being honest with each other. And like, she is completely honest with me. I'm completely honest with her. And I think that makes for a healthy relationship. Even when things, are crazy, like, man, you leave a comfortable job and you do well, but for her to still like be right there with me side by side, believing in me, like it means everything. And, I hope that I'm able, and I have been able to do the same thing for her. So yeah, man, we've known each other forever. I've known her over half my life, and yeah, it's been a beautiful thing. Yeah.
So were you the one that had to have the heart surgery?
Yes, I was. Yeah. So we literally, like a month before we got married, I just went in for like I was feeling sick. So I went into to see a doctor, get checked out. She told me, were you familiar, or did you know you had a heart murmur? Yeah, I knew about that for years, since I was a kid, knew a heart murmur. It was always told it's not a big deal. At this time I was in my mid-20s. So everything was, fine or whatever. So, she's like, well, something sounds different. So let me send you to a cardiologist. So, okay. All right. Well, I'll go to a cardiologist. Fine. So then went to a cardiologist, did all the checkups and stuff like that. And was like, okay, we're going to, have you do a test, see what's going on. I think they call it echocardiogram. Do that real quick, see how's everything going. All right. So did that, got released and was on my way to driving home. And I was on my phone with my wife telling her about what was going on. I keep saying my wife. My wife's name is Erica. I think everybody who knows me knows that. So on the phone with Erica, and she's like, what's going on? I was telling her what all happened. Next thing you know, I got a phone call from the hospital. And, I click over, hey, we need you to turn around and come back. I'm like, okay. Me, like I'm real, like chill. I'm not really fazed by much. And that's pretty much, that was my attitude. So I click back on and tell her, and, I'm as calm as they just called me and they want me to come back. And she's like, okay. And then it starts to, starts to get a little anxious and see what's going on. And then, after a few more tests, it was discovered, hey, like, you need to have heart surgery, open heart surgery. And you're 25, 26 years old. And, you need to have this. Not saying it's life threatening, but, if you want to have a good quality of life moving forward, you want to have kids, you need to have this done. So had it done. Yeah. And that really just kind of set me off on like a journey, because I feel like I was having how people have a midlife crisis. I think at that time I had a quarter life crisis.
Yeah.
In which that's what led me to, going to where you and I work together, and that was a great journey for me, because, it helped me, after I recovered from the heart surgery and, learn how to walk again. I was just planning on, didn't have to learn how to walk again, but it was pretty, it was intense. Like I was out for, 3-4 months. I was the youngest person on my wing because everybody else, usually are older when they have heart surgery. So I was the youngest. I had the virgin heart, as they said, and went through that, and it just kind of set me off on a journey where it really forced me to look at things like this is real. Like, life is short. Enjoy it while you're here, but also, be as positive and be there for people because you don't know what they're going through. I don't, that, I was led to have that surgery and it happened. And I'm thankful that I was able to have a successful one. When it rains, I still feel a little, weird tingling sensation in my chest. I'm not going to say old folks, but like seasoned people will say your bones, you can feel it when it rains.
Yeah.
Like I feel it all in my chest, but I think all in all, it really helped me to realize like tomorrow isn't promised, be good to people be good to you. And it just kind of this fast forwarding to now, you see what everything is going on in the world. Like somebody has to be positive. Yeah. Somebody has to have the kind of the head on a swivel and be that light. So I just choose to do that.
Yeah. Like I said, I've only known you post-surgery and the person that you are then. Do you think you were a whole lot different prior to all that going down? I mean, I know you say you start really to appreciate life, but I've only known you to appreciate life and to have that chill, cool, demeanor about you. So, I mean, was there, a time prior to that where you might not have been as chill and really not, or did it just kind of bring it into focus that this is kind of the path that you need to be on?
Yeah. I think it was fine tuned. I think I've always been a very relaxed, quiet, sort of personality, pretty chill. But I think it helped me like use that and help people, or just be a good example for others. Like I know you talked about earlier about like that sixth sense. Like I think it's important that you meet people where they are. Never assume that people are just okay and understand what's going on or happy, or even sad. Like don't make any assumptions. Just, fit in where you can. Don't, cast your burdens on people necessarily. But, if you can be someone who could listen to them or just bring a smile to someone's face, or again, just don't say anything and just listen. Like there's so many people who are not heard or who have been, misunderstood. Like, I think it's important that someone or people just recognize, hey, like, you're a human being like me. You go through things like anybody else. Maybe if I've gone through something, I can help. But if I haven't, I want to learn. I want to get another perspective. And I think that that's important as we, sort of navigate through life, that we just meet people where they are, accept them for who they are, but also, if there's any way we can impart or learn from them, like take advantage of it. Don't wait. Don't wait.
Especially when you're talking about that surgery that you've had. What a great starting off point you have to have conversations with people, because I've known you for the years that I've known you. I don't think I actually realized that you had heart surgery until just right now. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But I mean, to be able to have that as, something to speak to, like, hey, at this young age, I had open heart surgery. Like you said, that's something that, more older people are going to have. So how does that, allow you to have a bridge to that gap, in speaking to older folks that, it may have gone through those things. It's like, and have something to have in common with someone. I think of our retail days and, customers that would come in and stuff like that, in being able to, to kind of, it's like, hey, we're less different than you think, we're more alike than you probably realize. I think that's just amazing. And what a testament to you and your character for being able to get through something like that, not with, a bunch of blame and things like that, but to be able to say, like you said, to refocus and say, these are the time we have. These are the minutes that we have. These are the breaths that we have. These are the heartbeats that we have.
This is it. Literally, these are the heartbeats. Absolutely. Yeah. Because you just don't know. Like, I wish I could go right now and go run a marathon. I have to, of course, ramp up for something like that. But at the same time, like, if someone is going through something, I have something that I can, like you just mentioned, like I can empathize, I can relate, I can have a conversation with, no matter, what you're going through. And from a health standpoint, like I've, been in the hospital for a week and have been, confined to a bed for weeks on end. And I know what it's like. And just, it's crazy because, these like keep coming back to these times, you have so many people going through so many different things.
Mm-hmm.
We need more people who are empathetic, who do understand. You don't have to necessarily agree, and that's the whole thing. But just like meet people where they are, if I can, say anything to anyone, like just like be human. As simple as that sounds, but it's so complex,
100%.
But, yeah.
100%. So Berry, what do you do? I know you talked about music and dancing and singing reggae. What do you do to unwind? What do you do to relax? Is music a big part of your life?
I wish I could sing, but music is a big part of, the Harmon household. We love to play music, all different types of music. I'm a big, right now I'm listening to Krugman.
Mm-hmm.
Been on them a lot lately, and I've been trying to introduce, the girls to that, to that kind of our alternative soul kind of thing. Growing up, used to draw, and you pushed me to start a little photography business on the side, and I was doing that for a little while, and of course, life happens, and we, kind of go in and out of those things. But, for fun, spending time with family, just enjoying them, really just enjoying them because, spending, working from home and then, being at home all that time, you would have to like compartmentalize, those things. And I think, so last year we grew a garden together, and man, like it was fun. We had from, watermelon to squash, peppers, herbs like cilantro, which my wife hates.
Yeah.
But I love cilantro.
Yeah.
We had basil. So, those things were a lot of fun just to see them, like the kids get out there and like get their hands in the dirt and grow something. And, it comes back to like, the things, the moments, the times that you share with your kids, like that's stuff that they will always remember. They grew a garden during a time where there was a lot of uncertainty,
Mm-hmm.
So, when things are like, don't seem like they're going that great, like, look at us, we're, planting and growing and cultivating things. So yeah, important. Yeah.
I think that's one of those things too. When you look back at 2020, so much bad happened that year. I have friends that I lost to COVID. I have friends that were, put in jail just because they were standing up for what they believed in. With all of the bad and the negativity and the mean hatefulness of stuff that was going on. I think it's amazing that there were times where even in that it brought your family closer together, doing something y'all probably would have never ever done before. You probably would never on the list of building a garden was probably never on the list, but it's like, well, we're here. We want to stay safe. We want to do, you know what? We got this time. Let's take advantage of it.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And that was a lot of fun. You touched on like, so much, good has come out, and I know it's probably not the the best thing to say at this time, but a lot of good did come out of this past year for a lot of people. I won't say that there were some scares and some things that happened on my side and everything, but all in all, I think it has made a lot of people more aware of who's in their household, who's in their close circles, and who's around them. I think that if we hold on to that, we keep, pushing for, just like let's make a true connection with each other. Let's put aside all the negative things, like, turn the TV off. If you need to turn your phone off, if you need to go meet up with someone, of course, be safe about it, but do it, do it.
All right, Berry, this is the time in the show where I like to dive a little bit deeper. As someone myself who deals with depression, I try to be that positive person. I try to be the light. I try to not get stuck in the mud, but in those dark places. But it happens to all of us, and that, I think, is one of those, again, things that we can all share as humanity. That everybody goes through those times, and you are not alone. And if you would just listen and realize that we are so much more alike than we are different, that this world could be such a better place. But I like to ask, how do you stay positive and keep the dark at bay?
Ooh, great question. Because I will say, like, for someone who has always been a positive person, glass half full, optimistic, I've had to, I've dealt with a lot of that. I can't say that I wasn't depressed, and, I can't say that I'm not depressed right now. But I think for me, like, saying that out loud, is a huge step. To get a little deep, like, within and I'm not saying this because the Black community is not this monolithic, thing, but, in the Black community, like mental health, depression, a lot of that is, what's the word I want to use, sort of pushed aside. You have to just, pick yourself up and keep going. Don't show any weakness, but there is strength in, showing that you actually do have a weakness or a blind spot, or you're just dealing with something. I don't even want to call it a weakness, because it's just life, So for me, it's, vocalizing that, whether it's to my wife or a friend, like doing something like this. Like 2 years ago, I would have never thought that I would be sitting down talking about ever having moments where it got dark, like sitting. So the way it's set up in my house, like my little office area where I work, it's in this small little, like 4x7 or whatever. And you think about it, like, man, that's kind of a, you're kind of in your own little cell, and you're stuck there for 8-9 hours. You can get up and, fortunately, of course, you can get up and go use the bathroom, go eat, whatever. But when you're in that space, like getting outside, going for a walk, that helped me a lot, or does help me a lot. Just getting out, going for a walk, clearing my head, not allowing myself to get too lost in my thoughts, but also, reaching out for help. That's a big thing. I haven't started therapy, but that is on, like, that's on the table, and more so on the table. Like, it's something I'm going to do. It's get that added or additional support. So I think the biggest thing, though, is just not like recognizing that you're not alone. You're not by yourself. There are others who have things that they struggle with, no matter how big or small. It is their thing that they struggle with. And for me, like, talking, has been a big thing. I would always not talk about myself. I would be more concerned about how others are doing. And, you have to take that time for self. So I think that's been the biggest thing, is getting it out, talking about it. My wife is a psychology major, so she kind of like, she's a teacher, but I think she gets to utilize her degree on me from time to time. So
yeah,
it helps. But I definitely recommend, though, if you or anyone who, does struggle with anything, anxiety, depression, number one, it's okay.
mm-hmm.
We're here for you. We'll support whatever you need. We'll listen. But the big thing is, like, don't let it go undetected, or don't try to, at least tackle it.
Yeah.
If you will. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think you're right. That's one of those things that people, whether it be from, their family members or society, when you talk about mental health in the Black community, where it's frowned upon, it's looked at as what's wrong with you, and the thing is everybody has that, and it's not a weakness, and it takes so much strength to admit that something is going on, and that you can't just ignore it. When you start to be able to name it and recognize it, I think that's when you start on that path to taking the power away from it. And you're right, it can be something as simple as a conversation like this. It doesn't have to be, on a couch with a therapist or something like that. As long as you're willing to open up about it and speak on it, I think that really helps that healing process, helps to keep you from going in those dark places where you may have those thoughts that take you to places that you don't really need to go to, and be able to, again, pull yourself out, to know when to reach out and say, hey, it's getting bad today. Can I just talk? I don't need, any counseling. I don't need you to fix it. I just need to be able to say what's on my mind here in a judgment-free kind of zone. And finding those folks that you can have that conversation with, I think is so important.
Yeah. And if you think of, if someone crosses your mind, they cross your mind for a reason. So as soon as they cross your mind, reach out to them. There's a reason why, someone came across your thought process or your mental. Reach out to them, because you could be the one that could, pull them back in, or make them happy, smile, or just, you could be that person that they needed at that moment. So, like, anytime you can do that, like, do it. Don't hesitate. Even if it's just a text, email, however you want to communicate, like, do it.
I am 100% a proponent of that. It happens to me all the time. It could be somebody I ain't thought of in years, and they cross my mind. If the first thing I do is I'll look to see if I have their number still in my phone, and be like, "Is this you still?" Yeah. Hey, cool. Well, you crossed my mind. I just wanted you to know that I was thinking about you. I hope things are going good. That's it. Whether they respond back or not, you've responded to the universe telling you that, that there's somebody that needs a connection. Yeah. And I think if more people were sensitive to that, I think that's another one of those things that really help people when you get that, that text or that call or that message or whatever out of the blue, because, they don't know what you're going through, but something, vibrated to let them know, hey, reach out.
Yeah, we're all connected. So just trust it. Yeah. Take the time. Because I can't tell you, like, how many times, I got reached out to, and how I was able to also reach out to others. And, it means a lot.
All right, Barry, this is our third segment. This is time now for the Fast Five. Fast Five.
Right.
It's the Fast Five. I'm sorry, I don't have a theme song yet. I'm still working on it. It's the Fast Five.
I like it. I like it.
Powered by Poddex. It's an app that you can get. It's great conversation starters. It's an app made by my friend Travis Brown for podcasters. But if you ever have to talk in front of a group and you need an icebreaker or a conversation starter, you should check it out, Poddex. As a matter of fact, if you use the promo code CHEW, you get 10% off your deck. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick these 5 questions at random, hitting the randomizer here. And you just give me the first answer that comes off the top of your head. You don't have to think about it. There's no wrong answers. And we'll get going here with your first questions. What do you think will be your legacy?
Ooh, wow. Off the rip. All right. You know what? My legacy will be that I was a good husband. A really, really good father. And, you know, I think that as long as I check those 2, you know, I know within I've been a great person. But most importantly, I was there for the people who mattered most to me. So I would say that would be my legacy. I'm not big on, oh, my name will live on forever until the end of time. Like, you know, like great husband, you know, better father.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right. Question 2. What's your favorite movie theater snack?
Wow. You know what? I mean, it has to be popcorn, even though it's ridiculously expensive, but I'll go popcorn and give me all the extra butter.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I want the butter to like kind of seep through the napkins and
all get on your hands.
Yeah.
And yes. Dripping down the wrist. Yeah. Yeah. I can't go to a movie without popcorn. It's like something, it's like I can't concentrate for the movie doesn't make sense all of a sudden.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
All right. And here we go. Question number 3. Who inspires you most? And what qualities do they possess that inspire you?
Oh, wow. Man, these are tough. So my wife, Erica, she actually, you know, she really does inspire me. She is my best friend. You know, she's just a very strong person, even when, you know, not to like reveal too much about her, but sometimes like even when she doubts herself, like she still pushes through. And like she is a very a strong mind person. I would like to be more like that sometimes, but you know, she has such a conviction about, you know, certain things, and you know, it inspires me to stay, you know, be steadfast in what I believe in too.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, promise I'm not trying to get cool points with her, but
I mean, I don't want to say it sounds like you might be trying to get a doghouse and be like, let me go, Rob, let me go on the podcast. Erica's mad at me. No.
Oh, man.
All right, number 4. If your office had show and tell for adults, what thing would you be proud to display?
Ooh, man, I'm like a closet stand-up comedian.
Okay.
I have like a 5.5 minute routine that I've worked on for the last 10 minutes. I'm sorry, not 10 minutes. 10, no,
I see what you did there.
But no, I have a routine that I've had for like 10 years. You know, I doubt that the world will ever see it, but if I had to do like a show and tell, it would be that, or I can do some certain voices, like impressions and impersonations or voices.
Okay.
You know, that's probably like maybe somewhere down the road. You know, if you ever need somebody to do voiceovers or something, you know, holler at your boy.
I will. I'll do that. All right. That's great. Now I want to hear your 5-minute set for sure.
Oh man,
we'll have to record a separate episode of you just doing a 5-minute set.
Let me work on that.
Oh.
But there's a clean version, and then there's a.
All right, question number 5. What was the last book you read?
Oh wow, man, I will, shamefully say I don't read a lot. As far as books, but the most recent one I read was Lecrae book that he came out with about 4 years ago. From top to bottom, that was a really good book by Lecrae. Unashamed by Lecrae.
Awesome. What did you like so much about that? I mean, you're a fan of Lecrae.
Yeah. So his, just his story, like his journey, we're similar in age. And I think, he grew up on a lot of some of the things that I grew up on, but sort of being that kid who kind of grew up in a sort of in a church setting, but he grew more so up in the inner city. And just a fascinating story on where he went from, his journey and how he overcame a lot of struggles and became one of the greatest, I won't say like Christian artists, I'll just say artists, period. Mm-hmm. But he did it in a way that he stayed true to himself. And I think that's important. That was an important lesson from that book, is that, no matter what's thrown at you, no matter what the temptations may be, stay true to what's real for you and what's real in your beliefs, and you will still be successful. You will still, make a mark on whatever it is that you're doing. So that was a good book for that.
That's awesome. And that's Unashamed.
Yep. By Lecrae.
Cool. Well, that's it. I'm going to have to check out that book, first of all. So I may put a link to the book in the show notes for us, but that's it. Okay. That's our Fast Five. That's the show, Barry. It flew by so fast, man.
It did, man. It's an hour. That was quick.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to me and all the other things that you could be doing, spending time with your family and stuff like that. I've always appreciated our times to connect. So thank you for doing this. If folks want to keep up with you on social media, things like that, you have like an Instagram handle that you keep up with often. I know you mentioned about your photography and stuff, but is there a way folks can find you?
Yeah. Just simply at @VHarmonBerry. That's where I am on Instagram. That's how you can find me. Yep, that's it.
You never know, somebody might need to reach out and to be able to just connect, or maybe you cross their mind, and so they need to let you know that they're thinking of you, and that's Berry, Berry.
Correct.
Right.
Yep. Thank you.
I'll put the link. I'll put the link in the show notes for that as well. Barry, thank you so much for being here with me today. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it was my pleasure, man. Thank you. And I'm, like I said, when you first dropped the Chewing the Fat podcast, I shot you that message on that Saturday. I had to stop what I was doing. Like, man, I'm so proud of you. Like, the logo was so cool. I was just so proud, because I know we've talked over years about, venturing out and doing things, and like that was inspiration. That was inspiring. I do, love it, man.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that. You can find out more about Berry on the website at chewingthefatbr.com. If you would like to support this podcast, you can buy me a coffee there as well. And I look forward to seeing you here next time when we can sit a spell and chew the fat.